All right, everybody, we are here with another episode of Chamber Chat, and I've got another guest in the car today. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we'll kick it off from there.
My name's Matt Brown. I am the finance director for the city of St. Helens.
Awesome. So now finance director. I think most people get from the title what that probably is, but what do you do?
In a nutshell, I make sure that the money is spent and collected appropriately. From property taxes, water, utility bills, grants, all that kind of stuff.
So when people talk about the finances coming into the city and the different revenue streams coming in, I mean it all filters through you or your department or
all
it's
goes
you,
through
right?
the finance department. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you head that up.
Yep.
How many people in it?
Myself and two other people in the finance department.
Because what's strange to me, and I'm getting used to it now, but it's amazing how small a group of people you guys are down there.
Yeah.
At City Hall. It's not like hundreds and hundreds of employees.
Yeah, there are times when I would love to hire another person, but there's more pressing needs. I think the city would rather hire another officer than a finance person. So I see that argument.
That's fair enough. Speaking of which, we got to meet the new chief.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago, or you probably met him before.
Yeah, I've met him a couple of times. I chatted with him this morning for like an hour or so.
Oh, yeah?
Talk about finances and stuff. And
nice guy.
Yeah, very nice.
Super nice guy. So, okay, finance stuff. A lot of people will, and myself included, don't really know how things are allocated, budget years and times and all this stuff. And I'm sure we could go down a rabbit hole here that, is going to be hours and hours long. But in the brief sense of it, how does it work?
So most people probably understand their property taxes and that they pay property taxes every year.
Yep.
All of that money goes into the general fund.
Okay.
The general fund pays for stuff like the police department, the library, the finance administration, several other departments. So most of the money that the city receives, which is property taxes, goes into that general fund.
Yeah.
Other than that, we have a few kind of what I like to call separate buckets for special revenue funds. So any kind of grant funds that we receive, like the state gas tax that we get, goes into a street bucket to pay for street improvements.
And you guys are told to do that, right? You can't just go into any fund.
Correct. Yeah, we can't really, legally take stuff from here and there.
Right.
There's a few caveats that we can kind of work around to do a loan from one fund to another if it's needed and something like that.
Sure.
And then there are utility bills, so your water, sewer, storm bills that you get on a monthly basis. Now those goes into each separate fund for water and sewer and storm to pay for improvements and capital.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second. So let's say I don't like the way the roads are set up, or we need more signs or traffic signs or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
As a resident, or maybe turning it back around, as a finance department, there's got to be a sense of frustration where it's just like renting a house, right? You only have a certain amount of money coming in. Yeah. So I'm saying, okay, why can't my property taxes go to getting new, fixing potholes and roads and stuff like that? I mean, that's got to be frustrating.
It's very frustrating because we only get so much money from state gas tax.
Yeah.
And we only get so much money from grants, and we are always looking for grants and funding opportunities for street paving, for officers, for community engagements. I mean, there's grant money available, but we have to apply for it. We have to fill out all the applications. We have to jump through all the hoops. Just as much as people hate bureaucracy, we hate it too, because we have to go through the same hoops to get
living it, right?
Funding and everything.
Yeah.
And so it can be frustrating at times, but yeah, it's always difficult to say we only have so much money in this bucket and we can't really spend it on this or that.
Right.
So we have to prioritize and figure out, try and kind of budget every year and into the future years of what projects we have coming up in the future years to kind of save up over a few years. Just like any household does. If you want to go to Disneyland,
you're gonna have to sacrifice a few nights.
You gotta sacrifice a little bit and save up for a little while. So.
Where is there an area that you feel? I mean, because we've seen a lot of improvements, in the city, and obviously we've got a lot of big projects going on down, and we'll maybe touch on that in a little bit. But is there an area that you feel particularly I don't want to say proud of the development over the last few years, or that you've done a lot of work over? You're like, yeah, well, you know what? We're nailing that.
I am most excited over the next 2 years. Next 2 to 3 years. So at this year's budget that was approved, the city council and the budget committee approved to take $500,000 in cash that we have kind of been just slowly sitting on to kind of see how the economy goes.
Yep.
And we've had it in some side investments that bring in a little bit of revenue, but I felt it was time to make a statement to the community, make a reinvestment into this community.
Yeah.
And one area that is readily used and always gets cut first is our parks department.
I want to talk about that.
So parks are a major component in these next couple of years of that reinvestment of a number of projects over parks all over the city, of improvements that the community is really going to be able to see their tax dollars at work really in that department.
Well, and that's great, and let's talk about the parks department. But on turning that back around, it's got to be frustrating because you guys are doing a lot of great work that never gets seen.
Yeah, well, and that's a lot on the administration because everybody sees police officers a lot. But our public works department does a whole lot of stuff.
Exactly.
And it's all underground. It's doing pipes for water and sewer. It's doing maintenance of inside buildings and on the waterfront development that people really can't see everything that we're doing down there because it's fenced off. So parks is an avenue that public works helps with, and they do. And so these are improvements that really you can see them out doing the work and doing a lot of that.
Yeah. Okay, Parks and Recs. I don't want to. I'm going to get Shanna in here as well, but don't. So well, we don't steal too much of her thunder. But what's going on? What's we seen?
Technically, it's not a Parks and Rec yet.
Oh.
It is just Rec. So St. Helens Recreation Program.
Okay.
So back in December, the city council was discussing, along with some staff, we want to create this recreation program. We see a need in the community.
Sure.
We have so many different groups almost doing the exact same thing.
Yep.
And how can we as a city best utilize the resources to maybe not have everybody fighting over the same amount of money? How can we kind of coordinate efforts alongside creating this activities guide that encompasses all those different groups and having that one place where people can go to and find out what the heck's going on in St. Helens?
Yeah.
So back in December, we started talking with the school district about partnering and creating this recreation program. Scott Stockwell, who's the superintendent of the school district, he was on board from the get-go, basically saying we have facilities that aren't used in the evening times, weekends, summertime.
Yeah.
Let's use them. So what can we do? So we started a partnership and an intergovernmental agreement to work with them on using their facilities and our resources to create programs for youth, adults, anything in between.
Yeah.
Of stuff that we can do, and almost everything we do is for free. So I mean, that's the goal of the program, was to create some kind of a sustainable, low-income, affordable program that the community can take advantage of.
And it's not like getting kids off the streets, but there's stuff for kids to do all times of the day.
Correct, and there is some value to that when you give teenagers or kids something to do in the evening times and Friday nights and Saturday nights, programs that they're not just hanging out doing bad things.
Right.
You give them an opportunity to say, hey, go here, play basketball, play volleyball, come see a movie. If there's activities going on, there's less of a chance of those things happening.
Exactly. Want to talk tourism for a minute or two.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a big push. We've seen a lot of new groups. I've been fortunate enough to be invited to some of them to go, there's a big push, and this maybe ties in a little bit with the waterfront, or actually a lot with the waterfront. Can you give us an update as much as you can on how that
waterfront development?
Yeah, how that whole thing works? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you can, if it's top secret.
No, it's not top secret. I mean, nothing is top secret. So it's frustrating though trying to explain it because there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that the community doesn't see.
Yeah.
All the assessments, all the studies that we have to do.
That why aren't buildings being built?
Yeah, why aren't we, shovel ready and there's someone digging out, a new hotel or whatever that's going to go there hopefully in the future. but it's all the prep work behind the work, and it's really that 90% of the work that has to be done behind the scenes before you actually see that 10% of shovel ready. We're starting to build. So we're getting to that point. There's still a few more studies, a few more hoops to jump through. The city applied for a grant for some federal money to help with some transportation and some of the road maintenance that gets you down to the waterfront and some of the roads for all that. So we're hoping to hear back in December, I think, for that, and that's about $15 million, I think, was a estimate. So it's a lot of money that could be put to good use to improve this community.
So I want to touch on the sort of the community education, and I hope I'm forming this question in the right way. There's a lot of the stuff we just talked about, a lot of stuff where I think there's a general, I'm going to say misconception or a lack of education, but I mean that in a nice way, of what you guys do and where, you know, if it's a hotel tax or tourism money coming in, or where their taxes go, and you guys are spending on all these sort of pet projects or whatever. And I think, could the city do a little, maybe a better job educating people, or is it just...
We're always looking for ways to better educate the public about where their money is being spent. Right. One of the biggest misconceptions is that your property taxes are paying for Halloween Town.
Yep, exactly.
You know, that's
actually how we started talking. That's how we met.
So, you know, in a nutshell, the hotel and motel tax money that's received. So whenever you stay at a hotel, you pay taxes. You see that on your bill. Those taxes get funneled back to the city to spend on tourism events.
Which in turn bring more people into the hotel.
Exactly. It's kind of a give and take sort of thing. So the more people we have come in, they have to stay somewhere. Hopefully they stay at a Airbnb in the city or through, you know, one of our hotels. And then we in turn get that money back, and we kind of just reinvest it in so many places. So stuff like Halloween Town, the 4th of July, 13 Nights, all those community engagement events that are great for this community, but it's also a bigger picture of bringing people into St. Helens. So
because then they've got to eat somewhere, they've got to go out to a movie, they got to do.
They're going to stop by. They're going to drive through the Holton District and see all those stores. They're going to drive through the downtown, see all the stores on the waterfront development. They're going to shop. They're going to eat. That's the goal.
Well, and the nice thing about you guys, and again, this is part of my job being new. I've been fortunate enough to come in and spend time with a bunch of you guys. And I hope this comes out in the right way. I'm surprised how accessible you guys actually are. I mean, I'm sure you don't want to be like town hall meetings every day, but it's, I mean, if people don't understand something, they can just, you know, I realize that we've got there's a lot of social media, which is good and bad, but they can just come ask, right? It's like, you're not crazy. Look, he's sat in here, you know, and we're going to find out how crazy he is in a minute. But
you'll find, I think, if, you know, as I'm sure you have, when you come into the city, it's not like we have a closed door, we're locked up and nobody can ask us questions. We enjoy talking to the public. We want to inform you about what's going on. So we try as much as we can to best communicate through social media. Facebook is a huge thing, especially for my age and our demographic. But there's Twitter, there's Facebook, the website, the live streaming that we do for all the meetings. But there's always the sense of, well, we're not doing good enough. So what can we do more? And it's frustrating because we have all these outlets, but we still get those people that don't get the information. And other than going around and knocking on 14,000 doors,
I'm just saying, that's an option.
Hard to do.
Spend some of that secret money you've got tucked away.
We're going to hire a group of ninjas to just run around the city.
But it is. But come in and talk to these guys, because they are very accessible. And yes, there's the formalities of meetings and, you know, and public areas where you can talk and all that good stuff. But these guys are human beings. Just come in and chat with them, ask questions.
Chat with, you know, our city administrator, myself, the police chief, the library director, the public works directors, even the city council members and the mayor. They are readily available. Call them up. At the very least, shoot them an email. They do read their email. They do answer their phones. They are human beings. They live in this community. So,
or stop by and see Matt at home. His home address is. Don't go see him. So I want to talk about you a little bit now, okay? Because this is the real reason. Now, I've heard there's a rumor going around town that you are a bit of a A bit of it. That's
little
that's a terrible impression.
Yeah.
You're a music guy.
I am a music guy.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the scoop? I've heard Dave Matthews. John Walsh said he sounds like Dave Matthews.
I've heard that. I've heard Dave Matthews. Actually, the last 13 nights I played, some lady came up to me and said, "You sound a lot like Kenny Loggins." Well, thank you. That's a good reference.
Is that good? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've always been involved with music my entire life. I started playing piano when I was a kid, played the trumpet for a while, and then in junior high, my 7th grade shop teacher had huge speakers in the shop and blasted Fish and Grateful Dead all day long.
Oh, really?
And so he had a guitar in his shop, and he just
where is this?
This is in Hillsborough.
Okay,
Brown Junior High.
Okay.
He had a guitar in his shop and just let the kids come in early and hang out, and it was just a cool place to hang out before and after school. So he would always have Fish, Grateful Dead, and and actually any music that the kids wanted to play, he would just put it on.
Right.
So he got me really involved in learning the guitar, and then as soon as I picked it up, I left everything else behind.
Yeah.
So I did the band thing in college and had a band and
what was it
went
called?
around there.
What was the band name? Come on, it had to be bad, right?
No, it was good. It was an awesome name.
What was it?
Cellar Doors. Do you ever see the movie Donnie Darko?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Stellar. So in one of the scenes, Drew Barrymore, they were in the school and she was doing something on the blackboard and wrote Cellar Doors and said some person or said this was the most beautiful word, and we were watching that movie. The bandmates and a couple of roommates were watching the movie, and we're just like, that's the name.
That's the name of the band.
And it just clicked.
So in like 30 years now, when there's a big reunion of Cellar Doors, you'll be telling this to a much more important interview than this.
Yes.
And it'll be like the Beatles or something. So
yeah.
So you play piano, guitar?
I play piano, guitar, and trumpet.
Oh, and trumpet?
Yeah.
Nice. So you were, and John told me you were down at 13 Nights jamming away.
Yep.
You're kind of like the warm-up act for the bands, is that the deal?
Yeah, kind of the happy hours, so to speak, before the main band kind of shows up. So I'm down there from 4:30ish to 6ish before the band gets there and starts setting up.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
No nerves, no nothing?
No. I don't get too nervous.
And it's just you, right?
Yeah, and worst case, I'm off the clock technically, so I just go buy a beer and that relaxes a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah. And then towards the end, it just gets awful. You start slurring.
Well, I'm only playing till 6, so it's like an hour. So
you can do some damage in an hour. Come on. Come on.
Don't work up your tolerance a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. So what do you like to do when you're not spending all the people's money around here and everything? What do you like to do in the spare time when you're not?
If I'm not playing music and at home with my family, so I have a wife and a 7-year-old daughter.
Yep.
Other than that, I am usually outside playing sports. So volleyball is huge.
Okay. Well, you're a tall guy.
I am a tall guy.
Yeah.
I do have a little bit of hops, so
you can get up.
I can get up.
All right.
So yeah, I play volleyball at least once or twice a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, down up in Beaverton. So
it's like a league or something.
Yeah, I live in Portland. So
okay.
So I play once or twice a week volleyball.
All right. No, not basketball though, huh?
Not basketball. Volleyball's good because you're sprinting and then there's a little bit of rest, and then basketball you're going for the whole time. And
I can see that.
I'm getting a little older, so I feel it a little bit more.
The next morning, you're like, not as fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Not as fun.
Exactly.
So we do this thing at the end of don't pull out. I thought we were going to get in a wreck there. That would have been awesome on camera. So we do this little thing at the end of Chamber Chats. It's called Speed Round. I didn't tell you about it beforehand because I didn't want you to be nervous.
Nice, now I am.
Yeah, don't feel bad.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot out some questions. First thing that pops into your head.
Can you slow down, and then if I don't like the answer, I'm just going to
We just edit it out? Yes.
No, I'm just going to jump out and duck and roll.
You'd have to wind down because my car.
I got to roll down the windows
because it's so electric.
No AC.
You ready?
It's 120 degrees.
It's not that bad. Although I get used to it. Although I'm not in a shirt and tie. Yeah, that's all right. I won't show on camera. You'll be fine. All right, ready?
Okay.
Favorite food?
Spaghetti.
Why?
It's pasta. I love pasta.
Oh, but it doesn't have to be like the long noodle, like spaghetti. What do you have?
Any kind of pasta.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a pasta.
Like an Italian type guy.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah.
Favorite place you ever been?
Favorite
Anywhere.
place I've ever been. Oh gosh, that's a hard one.
Come on. Speed round.
Disneyland.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
With the kids, without the kids?
Both.
Or
Yeah.
daughter, I guess.
No, my family loves Disneyland. We try and go as much as we can.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a friend, actually, I'll spoil it for her. It's Hope. Hope at the Bank of the West. She's the bank manager there.
Yeah.
She's been going for like 30 years, even with just her and her girlfriends just go as adults.
Yeah.
I've never been.
You've never been?
I feel like I'm a terrible parent.
You are a terrible parent.
Because I have 3 kids. We're going to go here in the next couple of years. I know.
Good. All right. Let me know when you go, then we can go.
What's the appeal? I mean, it's Disneyland, but like as an adult.
Disneyland. You can still go and have fun. California Adventures does have alcohol.
We'll go.
So
we're in.
You know, you can take the California Screaming Ride, or actually, I think they redid it now. It's all Toy Story and Pixar.
Is that the one with the ridiculous photos you always see where it's shitting down? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Favorite place you would like to go but haven't yet? Bucket list.
England.
Good shout. Look at you pandering.
Honestly, even without you in the car, I would.
Even without you, I would still go to England. What? That's terrible. Why?
No,
why?
even without you in the car, I would have said England.
All right. Why?
My brother went over there for a semester during college.
Okay.
And just loved it. And I loved hearing everything that he talked about. And if I go to Europe, I don't have to learn a second language.
Oh, good call.
So I'm a little selfish there.
Good call.
So
way to go, American. You're just wandering around thinking everybody will speak English. No, it's cool. It's a very cool place to visit. Favorite movie?
Beverly Hills Cop. Did you call my ringtone? Did you call my cell phone?
Really?
It's Beverly Hills Cop.
The dun 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 dun. Really? Dun 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 dun.
It's the one song on piano that I remember how to play.
Oh, right.
Every time I see a piano, I always go, wait. And
it's probably like one of the first ones.
My wife goes, Jesus, stop playing the song.
And it's actually your ringtone.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah.
Right? That's probably, you grew up, that's a great movie to grow up watching.
Yeah, I grew up wanting to be a cop.
Now, 1,
It's too much paperwork.
2 or 3, are they all the same or just Beverly, the first one?
I love the first one.
Okay.
The second one is still good. The third one is okay. It's a little more comic relief than...
Are we kind of just tapering off?
Just like, any kind of trilogy, it kind of tapers off toward the end.
Not Sharknado.
No, not Sharknado. I watched about 30 minutes of that. It was like, I'm never going to get that 30 minutes back.
No, you missed it. It's right at 33 minutes it starts getting
That's
great.
what it starts getting.
Yeah, you lost out.
Maybe we'll show it at one of the...
movies in the park thing. Yeah, that'd be great.
That's probably not appropriate.
No, actually, you know what? Yeah, it probably isn't. Probably not.
It's got to be like PG,
you don't want kids
13.
crying at your thing.
Yeah.
Favorite person that you would like to meet who's alive?
Oh man, that's alive.
Yeah, they gotta be alive.
They gotta be alive. Gosh,
it would have been super awkward if you hadn't heard the news about
Simon
Aretha
Sinek.
Franklin. Who?
Simon Sinek.
All right, for those of us who don't know who that is.
Don't know who that.
Wait, is this like some finance guy hero or something?
No, he's a business. He's like a inspirational speaker. So
okay.
So
Nick Hurleman is going to like this because he pulled somebody random out of the tax world.
I learned about him several years ago from TED Talk.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got a TED Talk, this whole golden circle, kind of wide kind of thing.
Yep.
But, so when I'm driving to or from work, this is probably the nerdiest thing to admit, but it's okay.
Audiobook?
No, I will listen to his speeches and other inspirational...
That's cool.
On YouTube. Just to kind of gear me up through the day, gets me in the right frame of mind.
Just to get me ready.
Yeah, no, it is inspiring.
Yeah.
Many times as I listen to him or anybody else, I'm always contemplating and thinking stuff in my head in the process and discussions that I'm going to have later on in the day, and I'll pick up something different from those. Even I'm listening to it for the 20th time. There's something different that I pick up because it just correlates so well with what we do.
And what was his name again, one more time?
Simon Sinek.
It's a good first name.
So go to YouTube and look him up.
All right.
Yeah.
Last question. Person in history you would have liked to have met who's dead. You can go back as far as you like. Don't say something crazy like Attila the Hun. If this can't be a TED Talk guy.
Prince.
Oh yeah, that probably would be good.
It would be good. Can you imagine a conversation with Prince?
No.
Exactly. It would be
and
epic.
that's the point.
It would be epic.
You would have no idea. That's a really.
You
good
would have
one.
no idea where it goes.
You know what?
Topic. I mean,
That would be good.
It would be amazing.
I said that was the last question, but you just prompted another one. You can't select Prince again, but obviously you're a music guy.
Yeah.
Favorite music? Favorite band? If you could only Desert Island, you know the Desert Island Records or whatever. If you could only take one onto an island with you. One band.
My wife's gonna give me a hard time because I'm gonna say Dave Matthews, and that's the only thing she thinks I listen to.
It's because you sound like it. Maybe it's just she
hears
it.
And I do have a lot of Dave Matthews albums on.
Okay.
I do have other music, but yeah.
And do you like that style of music, or you're kind of all over the board? He's just your favorite?
I would like to say I'm all over the board, but yeah, he's my style.
You go,
Yeah, Dave Matthews, John Mayer. I do like the Kenny Loggins.
I like it. Jack Johnson.
Yeah, Jack Johnson.
Jack Johnson's good, and Ben Harper. Those guys, I bet they're that kind of thing. All right. Well, if people need to get a hold of you, because we're wrapping up here. Wait, can I get out this way?
You can go.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
If they need to get a hold of you,
shoot me an email.
Okay. How do they find you?
Go onto the city website. Go to the finance department. You'll see my name listed with a phone number and an email. Don't call me. And the reason for that is
that's the worst ever.
No,
no,
because people will call me.
Yeah.
And the city got a new phone system like when I first started, and for some reason, I've talked to IT, I've talked to the phone people. Sometimes my phone does not go to voicemail.
It just rings?
It just rings forever. So I get people that it just rings and I can't leave a voicemail.
Oh,
and then I'll come in
good.
another day and there's like 3 voicemails. I don't know what it is. So it's best to email me.
Maybe we could jack up taxes by like 0.25% and get your voicemail fixed.
If we're gonna jack up taxes, I would really like
for Matt's voicemail.
No, I don't need a voicemail. You can email me.
Perfect. What's your email address?
mattb@ci.st ci.st-helens.or.us. We gotta.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
It's the website address.
It's not. Come on.
It's not user friendly.
All right.
I tell people my address and they're just like, "What?" I have to repeat it like 4 times.
Yeah, just go to the website, find it through there.
Go to the website.
Hey, I want to thank you, man, because it's again the city is a big part of the community, is a big part of the county, and you know there's a lot of unnecessary sort of steps that people need to go through to just to find out what's going on in their city, and I think it's important that you guys are doing the job that you're doing and trying to get the word out about what you're doing. So, thanks for being a part of this.
Yeah, it was fun.
I'll catch you guys on the next Chamber Chat. See you later.